Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Ay, ay, ay. Oh, man. Long day already.
Yes, I have not seen you since the plague.
Yeah, since the plague.
It's a Witcher reference.
Yes, yes.
I'm, I'm, a,
Yep.
I'm kind of a fan. Kind of.
Of the plague?
No, The Witcher.
Oh, yes, The Witcher, yes. But so today, I thought that we would go ahead since we missed last Thursday, and we Jeremy and I were doing some other things, that we would go maybe do some testing to see if our setup that we did back last Tuesday is at least working. And how we're going to go ahead and do that is I figured that we would make a copy of the Plays the Thing company, and we would then try to go ahead and use that copy of the company to go ahead and try to post some purchase invoices or some sales orders and that type of thing, just to
Mm-hmm.
make sure that we have everything in place to move forward. Since this has to be a little bit of a shorter stream today, um, I figured that that would be a nice little interim of going ahead and making sure that things are set up and working. Um, and on next Thursday at 2, we'll go ahead and we'll finish up doing uh, opening up the beginning balances and things like that for the rest of the companies. But this, or not the rest of the companies, I'm sorry, the rest of the customers and vendors and the GL accounts. But this way we'll at least go ahead, maybe make sure that everything is set up properly and is
Mm-hmm.
working before going ahead and moving on with everything else. So, all right. So, before we do that, couple of one thing, anytime that people have want to talk or have questions, I mean, the chat is open. I mean, it's we like going ahead and trying to have that interaction, because that goes ahead and goes and say, hey, this is what we're trying to do. Oh, why don't we do it like this, or why don't we do it like that? And if I don't have an answer, I will go look it up because sometimes I know I don't know everything. God knows. At least that's how my wife reminds me all the time. So so okay, without further ado, let's go ahead and let me share my Business Central. And here's our stuff. First thing we're going to do here is we're going to actually go ahead and do a copy company, because we don't want to mess around with this. Um, we don't want to go ahead and mess around with this setup that we already have done and accidentally mess it up or something. So companies, and here's our place the thing. We can go ahead and do copy. New companies. So let's see. The play the thing. Uh, Test. Yes, we understand that this is going to take a little bit.
Are you sure?
Huh?
Are you sure you understand it?
Oh, well, yeah, I understand. I see. I clicked the little button that said I understood.
It doesn't matter. You need to be more clear.
Okay,
Are
but so this will take a few minutes. Sometimes it shouldn't be too bad since we're working in a Docker. Oh, look, there it is. Since we were working in a Docker container, so
I bet it was a little bit faster than you were expecting.
it actually was. Normally it's not that it does take a few minutes, but once again, since we're only have setup data in here, it really shouldn't have. It wasn't going to take too much time. So I switched. Yes, our license. I have to get the updated license in here. So good. We are set up. So let's go ahead and let's create a. Let's see. Let's just go ahead and create a sales order, and then we can move that into a sales invoice. So who are we selling this to? Let's sell it to Laura. Okay, so already we've noticed we've got some errors. Why is this? field cluster. Oh, that's right. We hadn't gotten a chance to go ahead and put in some of the other additional customer posted groups and stuff like that. So let's go here to Laura, and we can adjust that.
Could you repeat that because your voice just cut off there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. So one of the problems that we had originally
Yeah.
was that when we went ahead and imported, we didn't have the customer posting groups.
Mhm.
Uh,
We did that last time, last Tuesday.
few of them last time, and I was supposed to go ahead, go back, and make sure that those got in there. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen time wise and doing other things. So if we're going to use Laura, let's go ahead and make sure that we've got this stuff here. And yeah, I don't. All right. So now let's go ahead and try order. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that because I probably already have a sales order in here. That started. Oh, nope, it did not. No problem. Okay, so that was Laura. Da-da-da. Was it Laura or is it?
Yes, it was Laura something.
There she is. All right.
Laura Wilson.
Laura Wilson. That's better. See, now it doesn't. Now it likes us and doesn't want to go ahead and throw errors at me. So that looks all good. So let's go ahead then and try to let's sell her an item. What do you think she wants?
Squeaky rubber ball.
She wants a squeaky rubber ball. Okay, we could have a squeaky.
Dogs love that.
We don't need a location code since our inventory isn't really set up to go ahead and do that yet.
Mm-hmm.
How many do you think we need? 5, 10, 2?
I will go with 4, 6, or 8. I don't
4.
like uneven numbers.
Okay, 4, 6, or 8. So we'll go with 4. And tax group code. Well, we don't really have any tax group code because we're not really using tax yet in this, but it might be one of those things due to how this is the U.S. version, and we had that tax and VAT problem, so we might have to go back and sort with that or take a look at that. Okay, so nice. Over here up to, let's go ahead and see the available inventory for this particular item is lower than the quantity at that location. Well, did we act? That's interesting because, that's right. Yeah, okay, so no, we actually did have that location code in there. I forgot that we had done that. So there we go. Okay. If we try to go ahead and say, will it yell at us if we try to release this? No, it does not. Good.
Look at it cooperating today.
Yes.
It feels so refreshing.
So since we're not using things like warehousing in this particular company or things like that, let's go ahead and see if we can post this. We're going to ship and invoice them. Okay.
It was waiting.
Uh-huh. Oh, all right. So we are missing a couple of things here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. And the nice thing about doing these like this is that we can open the related. I think this open related record will go ahead. Yes, it will. This brings us right directly to where it's coming from. But now the GL account is missing. No, you got GL. Not sure. Is it looking? Oh, it's okay. This inventory account. This would probably be. Let's go just with other inventory items. I'm actually not sure. This is great where tooltips come in come in handy. To which the cost of goods sold, with the company of business and posting cost of goods. Okay. All right, we can probably put it there, and I think that'll resolve that. And then if we go ahead and okay, so currency code. Well, blank is supposed to be our local currency code, so I'm not sure why that's doing it there. Maybe it's actually referring to the general ledger setup, because that's where you normally find the local currency stuff. General ledger setup, allow postings. Well, there's our unit amount decimal places, unit amount rounding. Oh, inventory rounding precision. I bet that's what it's referring to. Or invoice. Oh, maybe not. Let's go ahead and try posting again and see what happens and see if it lets us do it this time. Oh, yep, there it was. Cool. So a couple of things there that we needed to go ahead and adjust. So what I need to do is I'll need to go back. Can you write me a reminder, V, to go back and, review the footage so I can go ahead and make sure that our main company has been updated properly?
Yes, absolutely.
That sounds like a good idea. Okay, so by clicking yes there, then we can go ahead and view the posted sales invoice for this particular, for this. So that's good. So 1995 invoice details, that looks like it's gone through pretty well. All right. For the customer though, maybe what we should do here is we should try to do I don't think well, we don't have reminders set up, but that would be good. But what we should do here is we should go ahead and get in a payment for her. Let's see if we can get a payment journal. So that we can go ahead and see payment journal. There it goes. So here's this.
Sorry.
So this is, let's put in a document number of just test payment. We're going to go ahead and do customer. And that's going to be our Laura. And Laura Wilson, currency code is this. Payment method code is going to be, let's use PayPal.
Why not?
Why not? We'll put in a reference. And it was, well, let's say she paid us 20 instead of, it was 1995. So, but let's do this then. Applies to doc type is an invoice. Applies to doc number. Let's see if we can pull this up. Oh, yep, there's our doc number. Cool. That's working well. There it is. Cool. All right, let's see if we can post this. Okay. Oops, amount must be negative. Oopsie.
It's showing you, if you look down there at the total balance, it should zero out according to the, it zeroes out according to the sign you use with the numbers.
Well, yes, you're right. And what I didn't do here is you can either do one or two things. You can go ahead and assign the balance account number so that you know where that's actually going, because this would be technically a sale.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go ahead and create another line to go ahead and do the debit amounts for this.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do here, though, is so let's go ahead and where's our sales stuff? I know that there was like a All right. Oh, I can't use that one because it's a cache.
Don't we have like a fluff buck thing you can balance against?
Yeah, but remember that is a bank. Well, yeah, I guess you're right. We could go ahead and use a bank account. I think. Let's see if it lets us do that. It should. I didn't really. I normally. Oh no.
No,
Oh, that must be negative. That should have done that. All right, hold on.
it's zeroed out. The total balance is a zero.
There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Yep.
Yay.
I'm so used to using like GL accounts to go ahead and balance that, but you were absolutely right. We could have. It makes total sense to use a bank account for that particular.
I learned that also in the hard way. When I was doing the a few gen journals back a couple of months ago, and it was a total mess. And boss, can you help me with this? I said, you can do this way. What the I did not know. Oh, it's a new thing. How new? Eh.
Yeah.
But it actually does save a lot of time, especially when you do like long
Oh
journals.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you need to pay really good attention to like whether you're balancing against a GL account or a bank account because if you're importing bank statements, sometimes it does cuckoo stuff. So you
Okay.
need to pay attention to that.
Good to know. It's one of those things too where uh, I've always found if you have the authorization to do it, if you ever have something that is like you're not sure how it's going to post, or you want to do that test vote, having a test company that you can go ahead and just switch to, do it there,
It
and
was
then
wonders.
just to check to see what happens. I mean, in some cases, it's a lot easier to go ahead and make a mistake there rather than making the mistake over in the thing. So I still do that after 15, 20 years of going ahead and doing things in test or a sandbox or whatever. Just been burnt too many times of things not working the way that you were expecting. Shiny squirrel, we got off
Yes.
topic.
My bad. I should have put that squirrel.
Yeah, it's all right. It's
Yeah.
fine. Okay. Anyway, going on here. Okay, so we got that. So let's take a look at her, Laura.
Laura Wilson.
Laura Wilson. Come on, Laura Wilson.
She's the first one to ever buy from our company.
Woohoo!
Woo!
So, okay, we have. Yeah. See, look. Okay, so we got a balance due of a -5 cents, -5 cents, because she did overpay us. So we are good. That makes sense. There's the payment. We can see that. If we click on apply entries. Oh no. Find it and yep. Here's our entries that we did. That looks good because there's the bank account ledger entry. And I think if we take a look at the applied entries here, yep, we can see that this payment was applied to that invoice. That's good. Cool. All right. That seems to have worked. Cool. Total sales. Nice. All right. Excellent. Okay. So looks like the sales stuff with the couple of little things that we went ahead and we updated does seem to be posting through properly. Let's go ahead and look at this. I want to make sure that I want to make sure that the payments and the invoicing, where's our general ledger setup stuff? We're receiving payments. Yep, you should probably put in a payment terms code in here and a payment method so that we can pay them. And making sure that come on. Yeah. Okay. So yes, for this particular one, we do have our posting groups set up. That's sort of what I was looking for. So let's go to a purchase order. Oh, I thought we had purchase orders set in purchase series setup already done.
Yes, I think so.
I thought we did.
We did
Let's
the
get
purchase and payables setup. We did that.
Huh?
We did that. We the purchase
Yeah.
and payables.
Oh, actually, no, we didn't. We didn't put in the order numbers.
Oh.
Well, write that down. We'll need to do that in our other one.
Of course.
That was interesting. Oh, you know what? This is where Jeremy was going ahead and helping us out and getting some of the stuff set up. So how much do we want to bet we just missed it because of that?
I don't bet a losing bet.
Yeah. So let's go ahead and create a new one here for this.
Yes.
And then we need to go ahead and do this. Starting date is, I don't know what, let's make this back a couple of weeks ago. PO, 1, 2, 3, 4. PO, 9999. Increment by 1, open. Cool. All right. I think that's good.
Are you sure?
Warning. I think so. Let's go 1, 9. Is that too many O's? Nah, that's good. All right, open series. Okay, let's go ahead and go with that. And yeah, we're gonna let that sign it automatically. Okay, now now it came in. Close this. There we go. Okay, so vendor. Whiskers and tails distribution. Okay, so we're looking at a purchase order. So we want to buy from them. Do we need some more luxury cat beds?
Define luxury.
I don't know. That's what we have. That's the item number. The item. Let's see. What any other cat stuff here? Oh, catnip mice toy. There you go. Well, that will go there. And we need maybe 100 more of these. And we need point. Yeah, maybe they're £1 each. Or okay, cool. And then maybe we will do another one, and maybe we'll do some of these with the luxury cat beds, and we'll only order 10 of those, and those are 50 each. Okay. So once again, since we're not really worrying about tax, we don't need to have that in there. That's not set up. And that should be good here now. So
why didn't it automatically fill up the vendor invoice number? Shouldn't it do it automatically?
No, because we don't actually have the vendor invoice number yet.
Oh, okay.
This is the order, not like the actual payable invoice.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. Sometimes that if we have a vendor invoice, when that's the invoice that we'll get from the actual vendor, that's the data that should be put in there. Okay. We don't have that yet. So we'll release this. And then now maybe we waited and we have the invoice. INV -A, I don't know. It can be whatever we want it to be. Okay, so let's go ahead and post this. Okay, and we're skipping the kind of the receival process and everything else. We did get it. Okay, receiving. Okay. So this is looking at still wanting to have a receiving number in there. So let's go ahead and click here. Oops. You're not going to go ahead. You're not going to let me open that. Okay, so let's go back then to the purchases and payables. Oops. And did we return orders? Receipt numbers, because that says receipt. Oh no, receiving, not receipt. I'm sorry. I'm not seeing it here. So maybe that is in the inventory, maybe inventory setup. Nope. Location. Yeah, nope. Not in here. Well, when it's referring to the PO stuff, it was talking about it being in the header. So we might be able to go ahead and set it from here. No, maybe not. That's all foreign trade stuff. And it does not have that receiving number. Receiving number series. Okay, where is all right. That would be under manufacturing warehouse setup. There's the receipt numbers. But those are that's receipt. This is all for warehousing, not for. Huh. If we post this again, let's do this. If we preview posting. Okay, all right. So we actually have some other things that might be a problem here too. So we might have to go back over there. But it's definitely saying that receiving number series. Where is the receiving number series? Okay. I'm not sure. So let's go look that up, because that's been, once again, these are one of those things too that many times it's a set it and forget it, and I've evidently forgotten it. Where is it?
See, if Boss was watching, he would have told us right away.
Yeah, he would have told us. So, okay. It should be in purchases and payables, but I didn't see it. I mean, did I miss it? Come on. Show more. Document numbers. There's the posted one. Wouldn't be under archiving. That's the posted receipts. I'm at a loss.
Makes two of us. And
yeah.
If you're lost, I don't know where I am.
Receipt on invoice. I mean, is it hiding somewhere due to the fact that it's? Alrighty. Okay, hold on. I mean, I know what the error is. It's just I could have sworn that it was on here, but I'm not. It doesn't seem to be. Oh, here's one way to check. Let's see if we click, if we do this. Nope. Yeah, because I was thinking that we could look it up here. This in the page inspector to see in the table fields if it's there. So no, it's not in that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
No, I'm.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. All right. Let's do this. Because here's all our number series. I know that we don't have one of those. So let's go ahead and at least add it because we're going to need that anyway. Receiving. Did I spell that right?
Is it IE or EI?
Yeah. I was I was thinking the same thing. So let's go at least set this up because we're going to need that. Okay, so at least we have that in there now. Okay. All right. So once again, though, that's not going to help us try to figure out where that actually is. So okay. 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 According to Google, it's supposed to be on here on this number series tab.
Google lied.
Evidently.
It's not the first time.
Yeah. No. Huh. Okay. You know what we're going to do? We're going to cheat.
We can do that?
Oh, heck yeah, we can do that.
And we haven't done that so far.
Well, not always we can do that, but let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and say add field. Is it going to advanced? Oh, this is going to be, no. Okay, that's not going to let us do that. Okay, so that's not there. Okay, let's not do this then. Now, I was going to try to add it via personalization, but we're going to go ahead and go to design mode, and we're going to add this field.
Okay.
Just so that we can get past this. Yeah, see, look, there's the receiving numbers.
Yeah.
Now, why that's not showing anywhere, I don't know. But let's go ahead and put that down. So for people who may not know, first off, sometimes the design mode is hidden by default for non-administrators and everything else. That is dependent upon setup. But many times, if it's not, what this does is this is kind of like an editor for modifying and creating a mini extension to go ahead and do certain things. Like, for example, this time right here, I just went ahead and I put in the receiving number from that adds field to page. So it is just a quick little way to go ahead and add certain things, but I'm a little concerned because if you take a look at this receiving number is gray, which normally means that you can't access it and it's disabled. So we'll see that here. Okay, hold on. We need to rename this extension. Receiving
EI.
Huh?
EI.
No, it's IE. EI. Sorry, yeah, EI. Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. I spelled it right too. I thought you were yelling at me because I didn't spell it right.
No, I was just saying what you wrote because we were talking about it earlier.
Okay, I don't need to download code. Let's just save that because see. Oh, it did
Why
download
is it
code.
so gray?
See, I'm not going to be able to go ahead and edit it. I'd have to make sure that would be editable through code, not here. Okay, not a problem. Okay, so we really have to find out where this receiving number is. Receiving number series. It's saying that it's on.
Hello, boss.
Yeah, see, it says sales and receivables setup, but it's not on this page. Reminder numbers. Return orders. So where did they hide this? That's just payment registration. No. I am not sure. Okay, hold on. There's reminder numbers. Okay. Come on. Yeah. Let's just. I'm wondering if this is what's happening here. Okay. Let me delete this and let's recreate it. I just saw somebody saying that, yeah, it's kind of not named properly. So that could be why we were getting tripped up. Purchase order. Okay. New purchase order. Let's do this again. And actually, now that we have this on here, okay, so no receiving number yet, but I'm thinking that here's this. Okay, so that's still not there. So maybe this isn't it. And maybe they just switched it around. Type item. There's the luxury cat bed. We want 10 at 45 and where was that? Now we can go with the automatic cat feeder. That's fine too. All right, so release this, post. No, all right, yep. Okay. INV dash. Let's try. Okay. All right, so we do have inventory posting system. Okay, but that might have been what the issue was. Okay, so let's go back here and let's see. Do we have a number in here or did it? Yes, it did. Okay.
It was over. It's just named incorrectly.
Well, no, here's what the problem was. When the error comes up, it says, hey, receiving numbers must have a value there. Well, the problem is that if you look at when you're at in the sales and receivables setup, the sales and receivables setup says, oh no, I'm sorry, purchases and payables, not sales and receivables. And payable setup. If you look here, this says posted receipt numbers.
Okay.
So it's not, I was looking for, because many times you have posted and then you have normal ones. I was just looking for something receipt numbers, not posted receipt numbers.
Receipt numbers.
So, I mean, so that's what it was. It is this indeed. It's so there is a difference. The terminology isn't exact, so it was made things a little confusing, and we wasted 10 minutes. This is one of those times when it would be helpful for when you have those errors that are coming through. Many times, if you see here with this error thing, this error message stuff, you can click on this and it says, hey, open related record or accept the recommended action. But this isn't always available for all fields or all sections of the error within the base product at this point. So other developers that are out here that would be that use the errors messages module or code structure really should go ahead, and we all should be doing that and seeing if we can go ahead and fix the errors and have that recommended action there, so that it makes it easier to kind of point to the actual problem. So anyway, okay, well, this inventory posting setup. Hi.
Hello, Ross.
I thought I would chime in with a couple of things. One, Henrik Helgeson has a great saying that he uses all the time with those error messages, which is give the user a chance.
Yes.
So like the design principle of giving the user a chance is coming into play with a lot of those error messages where they'll potentially give you the recommended action. And we're also starting to see, even in those little pop-ups like the error you just had for a field validation, that they're starting to give you the ability to jump off and do stuff from the errors, which is pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing that I wanted to recap for Venus as well, because this is good if you're getting to know BC, one of the things that mucks with people who are learning the system a little bit is understanding the life cycle of documents, because BC works a little bit differently than some other systems. When a purchase order is completely posted, it goes away. It's gone. There is no more purchase order. And the reason for that is because it splits into two different types of posted documents. It splits into the receipt, which is why we get the little pop-up that says receipt to receive that.
Yep.
It also can become the invoice. Those can be two different steps and transactions. You can do them multiple times. So maybe you've only got half the product is received. So one purchase order can become, one or more purchase receipts, and one purchase order can become one or more posted purchase invoice. One of the areas that goofs people up a little bit is there is such a thing as a posted receipt, but there is no open purchase receipt. The receipt happens as a posting process. So there's not like an intermediary document. But on the invoicing side, you can have a living open document called a purchase invoice that you edit and work with, and it becomes a posted invoice document. So it does muck with people a little bit that you kind of have this root document level, and then it kind of splits off into multiple little fragments, and some of those can have intermediary steps. When you create a purchase order and you do the invoice step, it does not create an open invoice for you to edit and work with, but you can manually create open purchase invoices, which does confuse people a little bit. So I wanted to jump in and add some explanation stuff for anyone who's watching along who equally gets stumbled by that, because that's unique to BC in a lot of ways, that the purchase order evaporates when you're done. It's ephemeral, it goes away. And that's one of the reasons that it's tripped up a little bit here and there. I've run into issues with warehousing here and there with some of the different setups that when you're posting these documents, whether it be sales or purchase order, sometimes the document gets assigned the values that it's going to become when you're going to post it. And that's what's happened here on your purchase order is because it was going to say, okay, you're going to receive this. It went through the beginning of the process and then hit the error validation issue. It assigned a purchase receipt number to the header of the purchase order because it got far enough to get to the error message. And now that number is basically reserved for this purchase order to become that receipt number. But because the posted receipt numbers field didn't have a setup yet when the previous post had been tried, it was blank. But unfortunately, it already had gotten through a fair bit of the error messages. So then you get into the dead end space of now what do we do? And you guys did the exact right thing. You fix the setup and you create a new copy of the document. And that you all cleared up. There are countries where you cannot skip document numbers. So, for example, if you are in a country that does not allow skipping document numbers, what will happen when you go to delete the other PO that was broken, it may tell you, hey, you don't allow gaps in your number series. It's going to post an empty document, and it will post something that's empty and say, hey, there was a PO 0001, but we deleted it. So that way there's no mystery of where did that gap go away to.
And that's controlled by this allow gaps in numbers field here in your number series. So,
a few explainer things just to jump in and join you guys for it.
Sure. All right. Now we're going to try posting this again and see if we've got all of our things. Okay. But we did see this over here for this one. This is general posting setup. So let's go here. Or will it let us that? Oh yeah, this time it actually has that, open related record. So direct cost applied account. Direct. Am I being blind? Because I don't see it here. Oh, no. Yes, I'm being blind. Would help if I did. I thought I hit that one for show more too. Let's see. Accounts receivable. I don't know. V, do you have any good ideas? I don't know if you've got the list open there where this would direct costs would be, which one we would have a good one here. We could probably just put it to like purchases. I'll probably just use that. Remember, this is just done. This is just kind of setup and demo stuff. So, direct cost applied. Yeah, that should handle both of those messages. Aha, yep, and there we go. Yay! So now we can take a look at that invoice. So, all right, let me see. We've got to get the posted receipt numbers in there. We need to get the direct costs set up in there as well. So that should be good. Okay. But all right, so that's actually not too bad. We actually have most of that in there and ready to go. So okay, let's go back over here then to let's take a look at the vendor so that we can see see their ledger entries to see how it looks. So it looks like we do owe them $1387.50. And if we go to more options and we say related vendor, history, ledger entries, we can see, okay, here's the invoice that we have outstanding for them. And that looks good. All right. So let's go to payments again. Okay, now let's see if we can go ahead and make a payment. Now, functions. That's the apply entries. That's posting. That's the other journal, the prepayment journal. I thought that we might. Yes. Let's use the suggest vendor payments this time for this. Let's see down this one here. Let's go ahead and say last payment date. Let's actually say that this is the 29th, because I think that's going to go ahead and allow us. Oops. I can do it from here too. Did I not enter? Oh, starting document number. Test payment. Okay. Oh, did I not? I did set it for the 29th. Maybe I did it the other way around.
Since this is a US-based company, shouldn't it be the different type of like date format?
No, that's the correct date format for US.
Okay.
Yeah, it's month, day, year in US.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Oh, why is this not? I thought that I needed that, but from the posting date, starting document number. I mean, we can do it manually. I forget what triggers that payment date. Because it does go off of the payment method code. Yeah, see, that's the thing there. So, in order to go ahead and get that to work, let's take a look.
Mark looks at that. While Mark looks at that, I'm going to hijack for a moment.
Okay.
Because I was describing something, I just wanted to bring up that we kind of talk about in your first 20 hours in understanding kind of the data flow. We kind of documented out the life cycle that we were just verbally chatting out. And I thought it would be a good idea to jump in and share that, this is kind of the life cycle, because it's going to be relevant to what you're doing now. Not only when we do the posting routine to ship products, do we create those posted shipments, or in the case of purchasing, we create the purchase receipts. When we do the different entries, different things happen. And there was a great discussion that happened over on Twitter just recently about understanding the relationship between some of these ledger entry tables. And Steve Endo had done a great job of kind of twigging on one of the important things to understand, that the item ledger entry keeps track of all of your quantity of what you have in stock. But he was digging into it and understanding that the value of those items in your inventory can potentially change. You might be using a costing method that does average cost, and the value of those products go up or down over time, or whatever have you. But the value of those products can change. So there's a subsidiary ledger entry called value entry that keeps track of all of the different changes that happen to that value. In the same way that with customer or vendor ledger entry, you never actually change the fact that the vendor you owe them this much money. But you do need to keep track of, have you made payments against it? Have you given credits against it? And that's what these underlying detailed ledger entries are for. So we do kind of talk through some of those different processes, if that makes sense, and will potentially benefit some people. Ledgers are meant to be permanent, and you add and don't remove.
Yes.
You can add negatives to subtract, but that's about the best you can do.
Yep.
All righty. I'll pass it back to you with your vendor.
All right. Thank you. Sure. Okay, there we are. But anyway, I'm sorry, I was doing the suggest vendor payments thing. And I was trying to remember when the last date was for that, but so I put it far enough in the future that it actually went ahead and it did populate here for us things. I didn't realize that I had that set to 60 days rather than like some 30 days. But here's our payment. Vendor, account number, description, it's electronic payment. Put a payment reference if we wanted to. Credit amount, there's the GL account. We're going to go ahead and pay this, though, right from our bank account. Ta-da! Like we did with the other one. So that should be good. Let's see. Let's post this. Successfully posted. Yay! So now if we go back to here, yep, there's the balance. We paid it all. Ta-da! And if we take a look at our ledger entries, vendor, other, wait, hold on, history. I keep changing this on me. So there's our ledger entries. Here's the payment and the invoice that we did take care of. Okay, so that's pretty good then. We have then all of the we've got the setup done enough with these extra couple of tweaks that we needed to do, enough that we are going ahead and making the payments correct. Well, we can do orders and invoices for both sales and purchases, and it seems like our vendors and customers are set up properly in order to go ahead and do that. So that's a good thing. It's a good test to kind of go through here. If Jeremy's still listening, he can always go ahead and chime in and see, if there's something else that anything else that he wants to go ahead and talk about or discuss. But I think we're good. I think we were good here. I don't have any of the. We could go ahead and try to do. I don't think I have any of the documents ready to go ahead and do the to try to import the beginning balances yet. And we will need to go ahead and update the main company. But
so
do you have something else? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think because I'm jumping in a little late, I'm curious to see for the folks who watch along who are new to BC or new to implementing BC, have we kind of talked through how to look at the posted entries for given transactions and look at how kind of the posting setups then resolve to the underlying data?
No, we have not. We did show the posted documents briefly, but we didn't actually go ahead and go through that. For example, here's the posted purchase invoice that we just created. And you can see this is how that all looks. This is non-editable because you don't want to be able to go ahead and edit this, because it's supposed to be a historical record of what it was and when it was set up. Now there is an update document field which will go ahead and allow you to update things like the payment references and that, or the posting description, or I think there's some. Okay, wait a minute, this got shipped to somewhere else, which is handy in order to go ahead and update that. But the address, the who we bought it from, things like that are all locked out so that somebody can't go in here and change that. There's the vendor invoice. But here is the original order number. It is right on the thing, and if we right on the document itself, as well as if we were using quotes, that would be there as well to go ahead and see exactly which was the original order that it showed up from. Same thing happens over on the sales side. Ta-da! Here's the one that we did. Once again, you can see the order number. You can see that the document is locked down. But once again, you can go ahead and click on the update document to go ahead and edit things like the posted description or the payment or electronic document information. So also there's the correct button on both sides that will issue a credit memo. Basically do a copy document, issue a credit memo so that you can go ahead and just reverse out that transaction if necessary. So is that what you were referring to?
Well, I'm going to pull out the book on us again.
Okay.
So one of the things that we kind of talk about in the chapter about understanding how the business and product groups connect is, and this takes a little bit of getting used to in the Business Central space. I'm guessing most of the people who have found this stream are at least vaguely familiar with Business Central, but maybe we have some totally brand newbies. In other accounting systems, there can be times where you have to do a lot of coding things manually to different accounts and whatnot. And the way that VC works is everything is pretty abstracted in the concept of, say, for example, we're here in Sweden and we sell stuff to customers in Denmark. That is an EU-based customer. We might, on our chart of accounts, have our aged accounts receivable, broken down by domestic here in Sweden, in the EU, and then the rest of the world. Well, we don't want to have to make our people doing our bookkeeping memorize the GL accounts for the accounts receivable. So when someone owes us, how does that get filled in on the sales invoice or sales order? How does that become a thing? How does it know where to land on the chart of accounts? And that's coming from all these wonderful combinations. As you can see, there's a lot of posting groups that come into play in the life cycle of documents. So, for example, you guys had filled out on the customer card some posting groups for the business posting group and for the customer posting group. Now, the business posting group is going to affect where some of the different sales side of things lands. And the customer posting group is going to affect where the customer owes us money, where that's going to land. So that gets migrated from the customer, the master setup table, into the document itself. Then in the document itself, when we do the posting operations, magical things happen combining the header and lines. We are looking through and we're going, okay, based on the combination of the product posting group on the line and the business posting group in the header, we now know the following accounts, because that's part of that general posting setup you guys have built and worked on, where it's coming from. And when we do the invoice to hit the accounts receivable, how do we know which chart of accounts that money owed to us is going to land on? And that's coming from that customer posting group. When we do the shipment of the sales line and we invoice for those goods being sold to a customer, what inventory account is being decreased because that now no longer exists in our system. So these posting groups drive which GL account numbers on your chart of accounts are happening. So if we, I'll pass the screen share back to Mark, but if we do the find entries, you'll see that there's a bunch of things that get posted as a result of these receive or ship and invoice transactions. That align with all these different parts. So here, I think this is your posted sales invoice. We can see that it created a posted document, the posted sales invoice.
Where we are now.
Created some GL entries. It created.
And you can drill, and you can drill down onto these too. You can see exactly how the ledger entries are being applied and what they look like there too.
So yeah, the idea behind this then is that from that document, you can specifically that document number, you can jump off and find all the different places that has affected all of these different spaces. So the GL account gives us the insight to what it has done to the overall value and income expense transactions for our company. The customer ledger entry creates the transaction to let us know what the customer owes us. And then we also had value entries that showed the decrease in the value of the inventory for the items that had been sold. So all that crazy stuff is coming from all that posting setup that you were working on.
Yep.
It takes a little bit to get used to. I suspect a lot of the folks watching the stream are at least familiar with it. If you're some of the dev folks, you might not have spent as much time with it because we don't have to modify a lot of stuff around posting groups. And oftentimes the devs learn what they have to improve.
Oh, yeah, there's been times when I've broken things hard.
No one's judging.
No, I will freely admit my mistakes, all of them. Frequent and often and large.
So that's why all the hard work has been going into up until this point in the series. All that hard work has been going on of creating the creating the chart of accounts and creating all these posting setups that point to these different charts of accounts and all that sort of thing, is because when you do those transactions, that it's going to result in these combinations come together and hit all of the appropriate accounts in all the different ways.
Correct. Yes. Okay. I think that's unless Jeremy, you have something else that you'd like to go ahead and talk about. I think that was good going ahead and going over those posting groups and the ledger entries. That's something that I didn't think of. But I think that we're pretty good unless you wanted to talk about something else.
I think that'll be it. We as a group were chatting earlier today. I think we're going to swing to talking some opening balances and things like that for Thursday.
That's correct, yes.
And for those of you who keep joining us, what we'll be doing with the opening balances is we're putting together some mock data like we would get from any old BC implementing customer, which is you're going to have open documents. No matter how much you tell your customer we're going live on January 1 and we need everything closed that you can possibly close, you will always have open documents because it's a living business. When you're implementing a new ERP system for a company, it's a heart transplant. You have to do a lot of things to keep everything alive and well. But to set the stage for what you can expect is that typically what we generally encourage folks to do in an implementation is you bring over the totals of a given document, not all of the details. So I've seen people struggle with that because they were trying to not maybe listen to the implementation team screaming at the idea of doing a perfectly matching document in one system to the other. When doing a cutover, oftentimes you're going to say, okay, well, for these customers, we have 100 open invoices. What you really want to bring over is you want to bring over for each of those documents and posting dates, what's the total amount? If they need the archived things, you can attach those, the existing PDFs for the old invoice out of the old system to these documents. But if you try to recreate it line for line, you're going to give yourself an ulcer pretty quickly. And that's not even talking about trying to figure out all the taxes and currencies and roundings, because Mark has some complex PTSD around that. Yep. We will do exactly that. The other thing that you can do in implementations when you're going to be challenged of, we're going to be a living company, it's going to be hard for us to close everything. If there is a real concern about what it's like for your people to transition from one system to another, I have also seen people go, then you know what? If we're trying to do a January 1 cutover, what we're going to do is in November and December, we're going to run parallel.
Yep.
And we're going to do all of the opening balances in BC as of November 1. And then every time someone's doing an invoice in the old system for November and December, I want them to go and do the same process in Business Central. It's very popular with managers. It's often not very popular with the people who suddenly have to do twice the work.
Yeah.
So there's upsides and downsides, because then when you go live, you've practiced for 2 months and you definitely know your stuff. But it meant that for those 2 weeks, or 2 months, that are often around holidays when you're already losing your mind from everything else going on. It's a lot extra effort. So it can be a real concern. So those are a couple of different approaches. We're going to model on Thursday the approach of, we're going to cut over with opening balances to just get things started. Mark, my thinking on that one is that because we're just doing the totals, it's a fine example to show the difference between whether we need to create a full sales invoice document versus creating a sales journal that records the invoice as a journal. Because and we've kind of talked about it here and there in other bits and pieces, but under the hood of Business Central, whenever you're doing a document and you hit post, that document goes into a journal, and the journals get posted into ledgers. Correct. And it might be invisible to you, but when you do preview post, that's what's going on, is it's going into a journal and it's preview posting and showing you like as if you wrote this up as a journal, which I think is kind of neat. It's very popular with the accounting trained background folks, and then everyone else kind of crosses their eyes.
Yeah. So, okay. I don't have anything else. Chat doesn't seem to have anything else. So I think
it's a pretty quiet chat.
Yeah.
We never have anyone to send us anything.
I know,
we had some for the first
Either we're really good at explaining things, or people are not really paying attention.
I usually, when I was streaming my dev talks, I would get at least heckles of, that's how you're writing this function?
Yeah, that was normally because it was me.
Wow. All right.
Well, all right.
Sounds like a plan.
Sounds good, guys. We will see everybody Thursday, 2:00. Once again, and we'll import those opening balances then.
And I'm looking forward to talking soon in all the socials about stream number 2 of a different variety for a bit more developer stuff going on in the very near future. So we're going to have some fun with that. And Mark gets to go into the passenger seat and heckle me while I try to stumble around and all sorts of things. So
okay.
Can I go?
Yeah, you don't stumble, dude. you really don't.
Behind, only because I don't do dev work.
Do you want to start?
No.
Okay.
No.
I have some easy stuff you could do. All right.
It's like, let's call it something in the 5-year plan.
Okay. All right. There we go. All right, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.